Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Tori. Today is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022, National Puppy Day. And we begin with the 7-year-old girl who wowed the world by singing Let It Go in a Ukrainian bomb shelter, taking her talents to a much bigger stage. Amellia just performed for real in front of an audience of thousands to sing Ukraine's national anthem at the televised Together for Ukraine charity concert at a soccer stadium in neighboring Poland. The event raised more than $380,000 for refugees. Amellia is one of them. She's there with her grandmother and brother and waiting on the arrival of her parents. Speaking with BBC Breakfast, Amellia said she's thankful for the response she's received and for everyone who enjoys her singing. Maybe Amellia will get to meet President Biden, who's now just hours from heading her way. Mr. Biden leaves the White House tonight for NATO headquarters in Brussels, Belgium. Tomorrow, he'll meet with other NATO leaders to reassure them of U.S. support and to try to find a way to further punish Russian President Vladimir Putin for his invasion of Ukraine. On Friday, Mr. Biden heads to Poland to thank that country for taking in Amellia, her family, and millions of other Ukrainian refugees since the war began 4 weeks ago. One person who won't be traveling with Mr. Biden? His press secretary, Jen Psaki, who just tested positive for COVID. Harry Potter would be proud. A British startup is showing off its new invention, an invisibility shield that can hide people or objects by bending light. The cloak is clear, measures 3 feet by 2 feet, and uses some readily available technology to reflect light horizontally, so much so that anything behind it disappears. So far, 25 fully functional shields have been developed, and the team is trying to raise money to develop more. The cost to up your hide-and-seek game? Just under $400. On Capitol Hill, it's day 2 of questions for the president's historic pick to the nation's top court. If Ketanji Brown Jackson is confirmed, she will be the first Black woman in the Supreme Court's 233-year history. The significance of the moment wasn't lost on Senator Dick Durbin, who noted that of the 115 Supreme Court justices who've served so far, 108 have been white men. Tomorrow, legal experts will have their say on Judge Jackson's career, and then the Senate committee will vote on whether to move her nomination to the full chamber for a vote. In school news, another Colorado district is doing away with high school valedictorians. The title is traditionally given to the student with the highest academic standing in their graduating class. But in a letter to parents, Denver suburb Cherry Creek called ranking students by GPA outdated, said it adds unnecessary pressure, and pointed to a growing number of colleges that no longer consider rank during the admissions process. The change starts with the class of 2026. And in Florida, there's a new requirement to get a high school diploma. Governor Ron DeSantis yesterday signed a bill making financial literacy a must for high school kids to take and pass. The course would provide the basics of money management, debt, and how to balance a checkbook. In other KidNuz notes, oh yeah, Mario time! Nintendo has announced that Super Nintendo World is headed to Universal Studios Hollywood. Last year, the first Nintendo park opened in Osaka, Japan, where there's real-life Mario Kart racing, life-size coins, cubes, and piranha plants. The Hollywood location is set to open next year. That's it for KidNuz. Our KidNuz quiz is generously sponsored today by the Shaw family of Tustin, California, who'd like to wish a very happy 11th birthday to Soham, a 5th grader in the class of the wonderful Mrs. Gorsage at the Pegasus School in Huntington Beach. And Soham, Mom and Dad want you to know they are so proud of you. Now, today's quiz. The Ukrainian girl who sang Let It Go in a bomb shelter just performed what in public for thousands? The Ukrainian national anthem. According to Senator Durbin, of the 115 Supreme Court justices so far, how many have been white men? 108. A British company has just invented what cool gadget? An invisibility shield. High school students in Florida will soon have to pass what course before they graduate? Financial literacy. In today's Kid News Kicker, TikTok may be in the hot seat with parents and lawmakers, but it's still making stars out of kids. Case in point, teen singer Sadie Jean, whose song WYD, What Are You Doing Now, went viral and whose fan base continues to grow thanks to the platform's duet feature. Sadie posted an open verse challenge last November. In it, the teen sings the chorus, then leaves a space so people can add their own lyrics. Now, more than 400,000 duetted clips with Sadie's song have been posted. Even famous artists like Lil Yachty have participated, and still others have praised the clever new age marketing technique that lets fans in on the action. Sadie's account has more than 500 million views. Since going viral, the teen has also landed a record deal. Once again, happy birthday to Soham, and thank you to the Shaw family of Huntington Beach, California for sponsoring today's quiz and supporting our podcast. Teachers, thank you for your patience as we work through our shout-out list. If you signed up, you either have or will get a mention. And today we begin with Mrs. Chandler at Riego Creek and Champions Academy in Roseville, California. Mrs. Fernandez and her Lions at Washington Irving in Durant, Oklahoma. Mrs. Degenhardt at Reunion Elementary in Commerce City, Colorado. Mrs. Carr and her great listeners at Baldwin in Rochester, Minnesota. And Ms. Jamie and her Milestone Mustangs at Milestones Charter School in Phoenix, Arizona. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here for more Kid News tomorrow morning.